All right, so hello, everybody. My name is Ashley. If I have not yet had the pleasure of meeting you, I am a Diamond with Young Living. My husband and I have been doing this business for 5.5 years, and it's been an amazing journey. So how we're gonna run this format tonight, it's a Q&A class, but I know some people jump in and out at all kinds of times, and I wanted to have a starting place. So if you'll just chat, you'll just comment over on the side with your questions, comments, kind of areas you want to talk through, we can do that. But I will go ahead and start so that everybody who's new can use this as a refresher, just kind of what you do as far as how you get started crafting and creating this lifestyle that's really about non-toxic living. So you've gotten your starter kit, great. Like you've gotten started, you've been like yes to oils, yes to Young Living, and now you're not sure what to do next. So I have a very simple thing that I always tell people to do. And I still today, I need to do it constantly with my own family. When I go through all 7 of us, when I think about our 5 kids and both of us, we all have different health needs. We also have different health priorities, and we also have different priorities as far as fitness and lifestyle. And so what I like to do, and I still handwrite this list, is I need to do it every month, and I probably do it every 3 months. But I just write down like our goals and priorities, and I write them down as a family. So like something as a family is like Ninja Red's always a goal and priority, because we always need to oxygenate ourselves. We always need to have healthy blood sugar. We always need to be at a place where we have energy and balance. But for me, it changes. My order this month and last month really reflected the fact that I was running a marathon, and now I'm in a marathon training cycle. So I have extra amino-wise. I am doing BLM on a therapeutic dosage level, and I'm doing Agiles and sulfurzyme on a therapeutic dosage level. I am also doing a lot more Copaiba vitality, frankincense vitality, and Idaho balsam fir non-vitality, of course, topically. So it's been interesting because for me, those priorities shift, because after November comes, I won't be in a season where I'll be on a heavy ramp up of all of those things at once. And so with my kids, because it's summer, we've been on a heavy dosage of all the sunscreen, right? And all the peace and calming, and honestly, and all the tranquil roll on. So it's been insane, because once school starts, we'll be doing focus and immune boosting and many different things. And it just changes and shifts. So I would suggest to you, whether if you're 1 month in or you're 4 months, 5 months, or 5 years into this journey, you want to sit down and write a list of health goals, health priorities. It could be liver support. It could be heavy metal detox. It could be gut health. It could be, increased intimacy and emotional clarity. It could be accuracy and acuity on an exam you have coming up. It could be helping calm your emotions because you're making a big transition at a job or a move, or you have a kid going off to college. Whatever it is, you have to write that stuff down, because if you don't make a plan for your health, it will plan for you, and it will be in a reactive stage. Where you're constantly like making patchwork on everything around you and not being proactive in this journey. So just wanted to say that. And it really has helped me to look at it that way, to look at it as like if my family needs gut support. So we've all been really healthy in that area, but I had a time period where I was like, oh, my kids like stopped all pooping in the morning. So I'm like, we need to work on our guts next month. So our Essential Rewards order, which as you've probably heard, if you're not already on it, is an amazing program where you earn up to 25% back to basically replacement buy. And that for me for a few months was gut health. And now, gut health is a priority, but it wasn't on a therapeutic dosage. And just FYI, what therapeutic dosage means, and I learned this from our Crown Diamond upline, Jeanette Goodyear, is that when you have an issue you're trying to solve and has many years of damage, it's a chronic condition, you really want to make sure that you're not just supporting that area of your body, you're supporting that system, but you're literally repairing it. When you repair things, you're going to basically double or triple the dosage that you would. So for me with BLM, with my body, when I'm in repair mode, when I have heavy workouts that week, when I'm like tearing down muscle fibers, breaking them down, probably really damaging my body in some ways, I need to repair it. I need to make sure I'm having these positive aspects, positive molecular structures going back in and literally sending energy and nutrients and vitality and wellness and oxygen to my bones, ligaments, and joints, the muscles. So I triple the dosage. And I ramp that up in that, like the days that I have a hard workout, before and after I triple the dosage of Agilase. Then I back down and then I triple. Do you understand kind of what that flow would look like? If maybe you have an issue where you're like, I am figuring out a food intolerance or a food allergy. So I would suggest that you double your enzymes, you triple your sulfurzyme, and you flood your body with 4 ounces of Ningxia Red a day. And then once you figure it out, you can back down to the not $15 a day cost of that issue and back down to the recommended dosage. So there's not a prescriptive thing. I'm not a doctor. I cannot diagnose, treat, prescribe, or cure because honestly, I can't even do it to myself. But I can be an intuitive healer. I believe that God put that power in each of us, and we are healers. And we are healers because we are truly focusing on the root issue and how to get back to doing what we can with what we have that's naturally given to us by God on this earth. So heavy hitter for immunity. Oh my goodness. There are so many things I do for immunity daily. I would say Ningxia Red is by far always my go-to, girl. Always my go-to because it helps oxygenate my cells. It helps make my cells happy, and happy cells don't go rogue, which is probably not exactly what we're referring to as immunity, but happy cells also don't get sick. They don't have cell receptors that are clogged. They are flowing. The frequency is high in my body. So also 50 drops of oil a day. And some people are like, what? Yeah, 50 drops. Like not 10, not 4, not 15. 50 is a key number for ultimate vitality and health. So that could be ingesting them. That could be putting them on topically. You can count it in inhaling direct inhalation through a diffuser or the bottle. It's just hard to kind of quantify what that looks like. But I splash probably 10 drops of oil on my body physically at least 4 times a day. I use 3 in a therapeutic way, internally, right? Every single day. I also take Inner Defense quite often. Take our Super C. I take Thyromin. I take all of our infused essential oil infused supplements every day. The other thing is C. C is so important. Our Super C is amazing. I take it daily. My kids take it daily. My husband takes 2 a day. Really important. Another great part of the success of your body is that your immune system lives in your gut, kind of like your emotions tend to live in your gut. So your gut's really important. So Life 9 probiotic every single night before I go to bed. Also Essential Zyme or Essential Zyme 4, depending on your needs. Really important for that. And then having on hand some of those immune stimulating oils. Thieves, great one. Immune Power, even better. I also would say I love lemongrass. I love eucalyptus blue, melissa. There's so many oils. If you use your essential oil desk reference or pocket reference, anything in there that is going to be keeping you healthy, you can do in rotation. I love to rotate when I'm diffusing around my house. Tea tree is another good one. Lemon's even a great one. Frankincense, but it's a little pricier. I don't really diffuse frankincense very often. But you want to make sure that every single day, you're flooding your body with nutrients. You're protecting your cells by adding those immune boosted oils. You have VitaFlex points in the bottom of your feet, internal dosage or usage, and then you're taking all your supplements. The other thing you can do is, here we go. Make sure you're still getting vitamin D every day from the sun. Sun is important. If you're going to be out in the sun for 20 minutes or less, you probably shouldn't apply sunscreen. And people will I'll say that, and they're like, what do you mean? No, legitimately, you need to have exposed skin in the sun every single day, for 10 or 15 minutes. And that is true. That does not really count as walking from your house to your car. I don't really think we do that 5,000 times a day. Maybe you do. But just because a lot of us with vitamin D absorption, it's a mood stabilizer, it's a immune stimulator, and guys, what is insane about it is it's also great for bone density and bone health. So you need to make sure you're getting that every single day. You need to cut sugar. Bye-bye. Sugar is the culprit. Get it out of your diet, especially if you have, here's the deal. I love sugar. Let me say it another way. I have no autoimmune issue, no suppressed immune system, and I probably get 4 to 5 hours a day of vitamin D. I spend a ton of time outside. I run outside 5 days a week, 2 of the days a week. It's dark still, so I don't count them. We have a pool. I am an explore the outdoors person. I'm always outside. I work from my porch a lot. So for me, I don't worry about vitamin D deficiency. And I also, for me, to be quite honest with you, don't have the hereditary DNA of any kind of, I hate to say it, any kind of sugar issue or autoimmune issue. What I will tell you is that I'm very, 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 very tuned into is that outside of oils, this is nothing to do with Young Living, but we have found that cancer cells feed off of sugar. Like they live off of it. They eat it, they consume it, they divide, and they multiply with sugar as their fuel. So what do you think like the flu virus does? If something as nasty as cancer lives off sugar, I'm pretty sure the flu can have a tiny bit of sugar and that virus can run all over your body. Strep, we think that that bacteria lives off of sugar. So I want you to think about that and think about sugar you get from dairy, sugar you get from fruit. Like, not that it's bad, but if you're going through a suppressed time for immunoresponse, cut the sugar, cut the dairy, cut the gluten. Yeah, no, it's terrible. And get your butt outside. Get your butt outside. And what I mean is not because of vitamin D, because y'all realize what we do in the fall and the winter? We sit inside of the germ-infested, disgusting environments where we are all breeding bacteria and viruses. And it's a little funny. I love that we're all surprised that we spend time inside with like mold in our houses or mold in our schools and people are sick. Like, of course they're sick. They were outside all summer, breathing, running freely. They might have been consuming sugar, but their butts were like out running every day. So their metabolism was actually at a higher stimulation level and their immune responses were higher because their guts were healthier because they were probably pooping more because they were probably running and walking more. I mean, it's like a whole crazy connection that a lot of us don't think about. Also, your brain, if you think you're sick, your body will manifest the sickness in a faster way than you can imagine. If your brain is not healthy, if you have any kind of mental, and I want to say it's two ways. Mental health is so important. There are so many diagnosed diseases that are actual diseases that you need to get professional help for with mental health. So mental health is really important. So when I say this, I don't mean it lightly. What I mean is if you go through a season where you are sad, you have actual seasonal affective disorder, you have or you're just kind of sad because it's cold. Like whatever it is, whatever level that is for you, your body will manifest what the mind believes it to be. So if you believe your life sucks, your body will start breaking down on you. So what happens is our immune system is suppressed because we believe the season of cold sucks. We believe that it's like means death and not new life, not regeneration, but it means like cold, frigid, inside. And for a lot of us, that also causes financial trouble because we think about Christmas and we think about the new year and New Year's resolutions and how we're going to afford a gym membership and how we're going to buy a boat to make our family happy. Like we manifest so much dis-ease in our brain that our body ends up eventually feeling it. I don't know how I got on this track. We should never do these calls because I will just talk forever. But let's just chat some more. Vitamin D also, Tracy said, true deficiency. We do vitamin D drops with my kids in the winter. I don't love that because it might be okay, but for me, I really want them to get that natural, if they don't have an actual absorption issue, I want them to get the natural vitamin D if they can. So we do them when it's like real plague season. So we do them like January and February. So we've done the past 2 years. Liquid vitamin D drops, elderberry syrup, sulfurzyme powder, and Ninja Red with lots of heavy on the fermented foods. My kids do not love kombucha. They drink it every day. They definitely don't love sauerkraut. I'm like, shove it in your mouth. It's on one bite of your sandwich. It's on 1/8 of your sandwich. Like shove it in your mouth. Coat it in cheese. I don't care. Just eat it. So that's kind of where I am. And then we do the kids Mighty Pro every single day. I love the Mighty Pro. And then I do Life 9 myself. I sometimes can sprinkle it in my kids' yogurt, but that's like super rare. I don't count that as a thing. We also eat crap occasionally. Maybe I should make that as a disclaimer if you're on here. Like my kids ate pizza the other night. They had ice cream. We had s'mores 3 nights. Like it's fine because here's the deal. I'm going to take care of our bodies and support them enough that one thing like that is not going to throw them out of whack. A couple days where we're eating on vacation, one bad meal out of the 3, not every meal. Hear me closely. Not every meal. You're not like, yes, you'll go away for a week and you like just throw all caution to the wind and you like just eat crap all week. But you can adapt and change and recover well if you're healthy overall. I'm looking around at me. The only thing that's not on this immune stimulating regimen. Oh no, wait, this is the only glass of red wine I'll have for the night. It's in my hand. one glass is healthy, right, Tracy? That's what you've told me before. No? Okay. So my whole point is, what's interesting, if y'all want to know this, just speaking about disease and stimulation and immune systems. So your immune response will be suppressed by the consumption of alcohol if it contains a lot of sugar and if it's excessive. So like something important to know, because people ask about alcohol and caffeine all the time. So caffeine, it's so your personal body. I can't tell you. If you have a thyroid dysfunction issue, caffeine's actually not awesome for you. You need like 200 milligrams or less a day, kind of like a pregnant woman. But if you are a healthy adult with healthy metabolism and healthy endocrine system, you are usually okay with a cup to a cup and a half of coffee. Yep. Yay. Ask me some questions, because I will just talk. I will just ramble. Something that's not helpful for any of y'all. Come on. What's the most common question your new members ask you? How about that one? All right. So how do you kick the caffeine crave? So the biggest thing is that for most people, caffeine is not the addiction, it's the taste of what you're drinking. If y'all research the body's response to caffeine, it's so interesting. Most of us consume the caffeine that we have every day so slowly that it's not actually the boost that we think it is. Like we think, I mean, I will tell y'all, this is funny. For the past 3 days, I didn't have coffee all 3 of the days until like 5 hours after I usually would. But here's what's funny. I wanted the coffee, not because my brain needed it, not because my body needed it. Like I like it and I feel like I deserve to have it. And it's like super not healthy relationship to say it like that. But I feel like I deserve to have my favorite morning beverage. I just do. When I have been gone on a mission trip, when I have been gone when I've done a fast, really what happens is I can blame and say I have a caffeine headache or I have like all the stuff, but half the time it's because I'm eating like celery and not real food all day. And so I don't actually know if it's the caffeine or it's me detoxing from the fact that I'm eating no food. Who knows? So the other thing I will tell you is that you have to replace, if it's a habit that involves stimulation, like somebody who has like some kind of like oral fixation, like chewing on stuff, right? We say like, have something healthy, like chew on this stick thing. Like with kids, we do all kinds of crazy stuff, right? We're like chewing this soft sponge thing instead of your thumb. Like we basically replace the same thing of like, oh, you're trying to quit smoking, okay, well, chew gum. Like we just kind of do this whole thing where we replace the thing for a thing. So I would recommend weaning yourself back to one bang a day or one whatever it is. I know you're saying that, and then replacing it with Ninja Zing. Ninja Zing is a great natural. It has naturally occurring caffeine, but much less of a lot of those energy drinks. And it's going to be natural flavors. It's going to have lime, black pepper oil in it. Great way to do that. But also just Ninja Red. A lot of people can get off caffeine just doing Ninja Red. You can make a mocktail with it, which is a great way to have it, which is with like sparkling water. And then add essential oils to it. Okay, that's to boost iron. So iron's a really hard one when we talk about oils alone to boost iron. I love that. Yeah, I went off caffeine for a fast. Yep, I know. Tracy, I've done it so many times. And I'm like, it gets me back every time. But it's more because it's preference. Quite honestly, it's preference. Like, I guarantee if someone switched out my coffee for decaf, I wouldn't know. I only know when I make it decaf. And same thing with like, I had an Americano this afternoon, but like I could have ordered a decaf that just didn't sound like my norm. So I ordered normal. All right. Plus decaf has a chemical process to make it decaf. And that is something that y'all should know. Like coffee beans don't grow decaffeinated. Like they contain caffeine. So making it decaf is removing something from it. So you can have organic decaf coffee, but there's a process in which it was removed. So like, that's why people will say all the time, like, I had this and it was, an organic, like, I don't even know. I can't find the same right now, but the whole point is you can have processed food that's still organic, right? I mean, I buy my kids bars all the time and like lentil chips, they're freaking processed. They just have organic ingredients that are processed through them. I am just on a roll tonight. I am sorry, y'all. I'm like hitting myself in the face with these truths where I'm like, you feed your kids crap. You don't stimulate their immune systems enough. Like, what is happening? I was talking to myself. Okay. Let's do that. We try to be. I don't know. Iron. So leafy greens. I don't do red meat, and I'm saying this to you, Kim, because what I have found is for my body, I'm not low in iron. My child with a lot of emotional things happening is really low in iron, and he doesn't prefer meat. So I don't eat red meat at all, and he like doesn't prefer it. And what I mean is he would never choose it, if that makes sense. And he doesn't love leafy greens. Like he loves like green beans or peas or stuff like that, broccoli, but like leafy greens, he doesn't prefer. Honestly, he doesn't really eat a lot of iron boosting foods. So for him, what we've tried to do is we're not going to do an iron supplement because they're really hard on your gut and your GI system, like not usually super healthy for you, but we're supporting his gut so that if he has any symptoms of leaky gut and that actual malabsorption issue is happening, that we can get it so it's absorbing and it's not just like sticking to his colon and he's pooping it out. I mean, I don't know how else to say, like, that's not actually what happens. That's the best way I can explain it without a 2-hour call on it. So what we love to do is we love to just infuse our food with more leafy greens. And I basically hide meat. What I mean by hide meat is like meatballs that are fun. I like hide them in that I make them real tiny and I put them in things so it's like fun for him to eat them. That sounded like super crazy. But what's in the meatballs is I make half turkey, half bison, and then I actually grind spinach and I add the spinach to it. And that tends to be something we do often. The other thing we do a lot is make sure that his gut is healthy. And I just said that, but I'm saying it. Making sure his gut is healthy is so important. If you look up iron, Tracy, maybe you can speak to this better than me, but as far as Young Living is concerned, I don't want to speak. I really just don't. This is like one area where I will say it, like people ask it, and I'm always like, here's the deal. Iron's really important for your body. I don't recommend supplementation. There's a lot of things you can do that are like an absorption issue, way more than a consumption issue for a lot of us. And I'm speaking to that because I'm saying for me, I have never been someone who had to worry about it a ton as far as blood work, but my diet would not necessarily lend to the fact that I have good iron. I think it's more of a genetics thing paired with leaky gut. Tracy, I'm sorry if you don't want to talk about it, but you're a medical professional. I'm going to ask you, tell us what your iron opinion is.
I think definitely diet. And then you can pair it with different things. And I want to say orange juice, even though we don't really do juice, but there are certain things you can pair it with, and you can Google them. But you can hide, if your kids don't like green leafy vegetables, like you said, you can hide it all kinds of ways.
Yeah.
As long as you don't try not to overcook it, but go ahead.
No, I don't know why I didn't. It's funny because I had to Google it to even remember it because it's been 2 years with Ethan, but now it makes sense. So we do a ton of beans and a ton of lentils, like a lot. We probably have beans 4 nights a week. And we also do, like we eat fresh seafood a lot. And the highest iron containing food is oysters. So if you're from, this area and we think about like that, so my kids aren't going to eat like straight oysters. We make oyster stew where we actually do it 2 ways. We chop the oysters in one of the versions and then we make it a creamy with like leeks, potatoes, and they will eat that. And then the other thing we do is like lots of fry. Like if you fry in healthy oil and cornmeal, guys, it's okay. And maybe for you, that's not helpful because you're like, I don't need that fat. But for my kids, we fry foods very often they wouldn't eat unfried. Like they're not going to eat Japanese eggplant. Like my kids just aren't. But we grow in our garden, so like we will fry it and we'll do like a cornmeal base for the breading, if that makes sense. We'll dip it in egg. That's from our chickens. I mean, like for us, it's not perfect, but we'll fry stuff very often. Like we make homemade potato chips a lot. We eat chips, but my husband will make like literally sliced potatoes. We'll buy organic sweet potatoes, slice them, and he'll fry them all the time. Like we do that quite often. We'll fry zucchini. We'll do a lot of stuff like that. And so I would suggest if you have a food that you don't think that you will like or they will like, and you can somehow air fry it or fry it, whatever your preference is, that's helpful for us. And the other thing I read that I've never thought about, I don't think, I got to look up the value because to me it seems like I would know this more if it was really high, but dried fruits, I don't really understand the process, but I'll have to read. So I would work way more on the diet than anything else. So Kim, we just don't know the measurable effect of multigreens on iron. I would say for sure because of what they have, it would be helpful. But really those animal products and then the lentils and the beans are so much higher. Like they're so much higher than the vegetables. So when we do lentils, again, rambling, it's already 9:30, what happened? We do green lentils, yellow lentils, red lentils. We do them a lot, and we do them either creamy or not creamy. We also sometimes make them in cold salads. Like we eat a lot of that. It's also really inexpensive. If you want to feed your family organic, buy yourself some beans, buy yourself some lentils, and make like a cowboy stew or a soup. Like our kids all the time, we're like, look, it's so fun. And we put lots of vegetables in it. We'll buy the multicolored organic carrots. And when you slice them up, they look like sausage patties. And we'll do that all the time when we do stews like that. And they love it. So we do that, and then we'll make like homemade cornbread. And then that's what we'll have for dinner. Like we eat just beans and that. I don't know. Some people, I have a lot of friends that are like, that's nasty. I don't eat beans. They tear my system up. If beans tear your system up, you're actually not in good gut health. Like beans should not make you poop extra. Like did y'all, I don't know if anybody here knew that. Like that's not a normal reaction. It's not like a good, healthy reaction in your gut. If you soak your beans, if you have organic beans and you soak them overnight or for 8 to 12 hours, the next day you should be able to dump the water and actually the gas particles that a lot of people say they cause should actually be removed from them. So soak your beans. Hummus, if hummus irritates your stomach, it's probably not prepared in a way that you can tolerate it. Soak your chickpeas. You actually traditionally are supposed to peel the skin off. I've never done that. Like, no way. That's the traditional method. Then you cook them and then you put them in your, we like to cook them in the Instapot and then put them into our, what is my blender called? Vitamix. Tracy's talking, she's muted.
Sorry, I was telling Bruce to get me the multi-green bottle because she was asking about that, because it does have spirulina is good with iron. The other thing, like I was saying, orange juice, because we would say that at the hospital, but I'm not a juice person because you need to eat the whole fruit and nothing but the fruit instead of just juice, personally, because it's all sugar. It ends up being more sugar. But what you can do is do vitamin C. So our chewable Super C will really help. So if you have a meal that's rich in iron, chew it, give them a little chewable vitamin C because they're good, and it'll help absorb more.
That's good.
And there's a little bit of iron in the multigreens. There's like 4%, but it is a little bit. So you could throw, if you have little kids, just throw it in a smoothie if they won't take a capsule or some applesauce. And you're getting a little bit. And
like
there's all kinds of great nutrients in this stuff.
My kids don't do that. People who say they do that, I'm like, my kids are like, it's green. Like, I also don't have kids. I'm just saying this. I think it's a fun fact, just so maybe it'll help someone. People are like, throw it in their smoothie. My kids don't drink. Like, that is not a thing in our house. And it's probably my husband and I. Like, we don't really love them. I don't really love, this makes me sound so picky. I don't love sweet or cold for breakfast. Like, I just don't. Like I'll sometimes eat like overnight oats, but it's super rare. It's more if I'm like really hungry, if that makes sense. But we eat eggs probably 90% of the time in the morning. So like a smoothie, if I make smoothies, my kids all cry.
Yeah, we don't really do smoothies either, but so I guess a lot of people do. But
well, I wish
like I'll do for Ryan, I'll just put like all his med, this kind of stuff in either applesauce or yogurt, because he can swallow it that way. So if kids are little, or you can always open the capsule. But eggs are iron rich, especially if you get the free range, the nice, healthy, orange, good yolks, good eggs.
Sorry, we don't have any to share. My family eats all of our eggs every day. People ask me all the time, and I think it's hilarious. I'm like, we have 7 laying chickens, and we eat for sure 7 eggs a day at least. We sometimes have to buy them still. And duck eggs are even richer, actually, in all the nutrients. So if you can get duck eggs, we have ducks, and we have one duck that lays an egg every day. That's what we bake with, and I think it's because we're just personally grossed out by it. I'm just being real. Like, we only bake with them. I think it's just because, like, we have a duck that lays eggs, and she's legit wild. We just kind of captured her. So if you can get duck eggs and you can buy them, and you're not grossed out by that, you should for sure eat them. Mom's having a full hip replacement. Yep, sulfurzyme, like triple the sulfurzyme dose. I would do CBD. I mean, CBD is amazing for inflammation, and it's going to be what's going to aid in your healing. I would do CBD, and I would do tons of Ninja Red. Anything else, y'all? No, not over, with. Anybody with surgery, even if it's not specifically for a bone or for a joint, I always say sulfurzyme and Ningxia Red. A lot of times I'll tell them just to cut your toxins, like what Tracy just said, to stimulate the immune system, like cut your toxins, clean your diet up. Don't do what most of us want to do and like go hog wild and eat and drink all the things and then go into surgery because your body's freaking in disrepair, like before you even get it cut open. So yes, every human needs sulfurzyme and Ningxia Red. Yeah, that's to me, those are two things that are so foundational that whenever I have a newer member say to me, I didn't know what sulfurzyme was, it always makes me feel so bad because for me, it's really important. How do you cleanse? So cleansing your colon, so fun. Cleansing your colon is really important. I would start with, I say the most extreme is ICP. So I say start with Comfort Tone because Comfort Tone is going to be a little bit gentler and you're going to know if the next step needs to be more harsh. Like if you take Comfort Tone and you're not pooping after using it for a week, like if it's not helping, if you have like some impaction issues or it's been years and years of not pooping multiple times a day, it's probably going to take a little bit more stimulation. So I would double Life 9, night only, right before you go to bed. I would double water intake, take ICP, see how that works. I'm sorry, take Comfort Tone, see how it works. If you need something more stimulating, ICP, and there's specific reasons why, but the biggest thing for most people is that they do something. And Digest and Cleanse is our like gentlest colon cleansing product that our dear Digest and Cleanse just not been in stock in a way that's sustainable for a while. And then Ningxia. There's something called the 5-day nutritive cleanse that for a lot of people, it will jumpstart their bodies on a pathway to getting used to fasting and a pathway to getting used to pooping. So we should all poop. I don't know why I'm yawning. Anything else? I want to ask y'all a question. What is your number one health priority? Right now. Nobody? All right. Thank you guys. Oh, I see one. Never mind. I was waiting for our talk. I was like, I don't want to hear anybody. Yeah, stop smoking, improving my diet. Awesome. Working out consistently, getting shape, depth, and feedback, nutrition and fitness. So the biggest thing, what I was talking about with our minds, is I want you all to clearly remember that your body will do what your mind tells it to. Your body will do what your mind tells it to. If your mind tells your body it's okay the way it is, then you probably will stay complacent. You'll stay the way you are. Doesn't mean it's bad, but I want you to think about this. If you tell yourself that you are feeling good and you're looking good and your habits are good, even if you're lying to yourself, your body will believe your mind. So the decision in your mind to stop smoking, to improve your diet, to improve your fitness, to have an amazing VBAC birth, like those things, they can happen with grace and ease, but your body will only do what your mind believes it's capable of. So if you need to work with emotional health first, especially if it's a habit you're kicking that's a long-term habit, your brain has to believe that you want to change. Like it has to. It's complete. It's backed by science, neuroscience specifically about how our bodies work. But I will tell you, it's something I battle all the time when I think about a physical goal that I have for myself, because it's for well-being, especially. I have to really, really believe my mind. Like I need to sleep more, but I don't believe in my mind. My mind has not yet told my body that has to happen. Does that make sense? Like my mind has not yet said that is true. I know it's true. It's a truth of the universe. But until I personally believe that my body's not going to obey that battle, right? Without a clear path. So make up your mind and then model your life to fit it. If your lifestyle includes one of fitness, you have to model your life to accommodate a new habit or a habit you've dropped for a while. And sometimes that means making room in your schedule for an extra hour and a half a day. I love kind of talking through that, because then even thinking through like a habit, like Jamie Jo, what she said about smoking, or what someone could say about caffeine, what someone could say about alcohol, what someone could say about sugar. The deal is you have to commit to quitting it in a way that it's like I'm burning the ships. Like there's not an option. And I don't know anyone who's ever been able to kick a habit that's had a different mindset. Because what happens is when we are 90% in, but 10% of us is like, yeah, it's really okay. Like I'm good. Like it's something that's I kind of like it. Like if we have that, what happens is we will every single time almost get there and then turn back, and almost get there and turn back. So I want to tell you all, I'm happy to pray with you or for you and encourage you with those goals. And I want to encourage you to ask people on your team, if you have a team, or if this is something that you're new to, really ask them. Like ask people around you, like, what's your health goal? And if they don't have one, you can help them find one. Because none of us are perfect. Like I'm a hot mess. And I thought of 90 health goals as we were on this call for the past 40 minutes, where I'm like, oh, I should probably do that. Should probably do that. Yep. Should probably work on that habit. Should probably work on that emotion. Should probably work on that element of control. And I don't know. So yes, my mind doesn't believe that I'm tired, but clearly I do. I'm yawning for some reason. I don't do well when I just talk to myself. So I love y'all. I'm glad you listened to me talk to myself basically for the night. And I hope that every month we can do a Q&A like this, and it's not just me talking, but that we just literally throw questions out and have answers together. So thanks for joining me for the first one. I am excited to see how this can serve our team and serve all of us as we grow and learn together. Because the best way to do it is just to hear other people, what they're going through, and then join in and ask their questions too. So thanks, y'all.
It's awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.